This conference will now be recorded.
Keep me serious.
Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
There are none.
Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's passed. Regular meeting minutes from the July 16th meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular minutes from the July 16th meeting.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain. Motion's passed. Monthly financial report and accounts payable.
You can see there's a Keller Bartman and a Midwest Livestock abatement payment on here. Been transferred in, and I believe that's the only thing that's,
Trestle repair?
and trestle repair.
That comes out of our budget?
No. Good catch, Lindsay.
Is it coded under EDA or did Kim just grab their own fund?
421, Rochester sales tax.
That's why we'll.
Right, get it out of ours.
Yeah, it's just a little bunch there. I was wondering how much that
We'll,
cost. It looks nice, but
I'll check on that.
Give us all money back. Let the park board pay for their stuff.
I'll make a motion, we accept the monthly cash fee with research to be done on the trestle repair.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Old business, tulip tree marketing.
So our online advertising is out there. Has anybody ever seen?
Something.
I did. I've seen a couple. I was like, oh.
I saw him, I didn't think it was.
The online.
I saw a couple.
Oh, babe. I didn't say good or bad.
In your packet, there are the 3 advertisements that they have listed. I saw one for the city of Broad as well. So yeah, they're there for you to see, and they will keep adding. They're working with Miranda. You can see the new one that's coming out is not the fair, but the Covered Bridge Festival will be highly advertised. Today, what's the name of the lady who runs the?
Holly?
Holly was in today, and she saw advertisements for it, and she was kind of like, where'd those come from? So what I'll do is at our next meeting, I will get statistics that I can share with you.
Be working with Holly.
Yeah, well, we did give her the Facebook access she did give us. So there's not really a lot to work with Holly in that situation, just trying to get people. No, excuse me, Holly gave them access to their website. That's what it was. Yeah, so she's been in contact with them.
The festival website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the festival website. So yeah, that's up. But I will get stats at our next meeting with what's going on there.
Can you see the stats, Miranda?
Yeah, probably.
Like is traffic going up or?
When did it start? It's a pretty short time, right? 1 month?
It's only been added less than a month.
Yeah.
That was approved by council, April 3rd, 2025, to come out of the 421 account.
Interesting.
This was, motion by Kirby, second by Bucher.
So the sales tax is strictly for a, right.
Can you borrow from it?
That's illegal.
Can you borrow?
I think it is borrowed.
Should before.
I think it was borrowed, but don't, because I think we borrowed from ourselves. Borrowed from the city.
Yeah, it says interfund loan.
Yeah, which means we're borrowing from one pot.
And that was the April 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes that's coming out of her.
Yeah, interfund.
Your funds, so where would it be made up then?
Yeah, who's
eventually?
paying it back? Plan to take our money, Kurt.
Part of the research.
Yeah. What other fund could they use? Let's see.
That Joan voted for.
I voted, yes.
Yeah, I've never seen.
But I
anybody use it.
think the whole thing behind it was that we were.
Good job.
whether we were-
Appreciate that.
Oh, we'll get it back. It's just that we're,
Do we have any like sort of time frame for like when that's coming back then?
yeah, maybe we need to buy something else. Joan?
Oh.
It's not listed in the meeting minutes,
Okay.
what the loan interfund was.
So I guess that would be the clarification. If it is a loan, when is it coming back? So that we could have it
Who
to
and
spend again.
when comes back?
And I can see the stats for those posts. They've done 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. They're not performing over average by any means. They're reaching about the same audience that mine do.
We should have another person look at that, I think.
That opinion may be slightly biased.
Matter of fact, I have some posts that reach almost 3,000 people. Because they were pretty controversial, so.
That helps.
Anytime you spark a little fire.
That helps.
There you go.
Not hard to do.
All right.
It's funny.
So I don't know, I guess I would say, because it's not that their posts aren't well written, because they're clearly well done. I think it's just that, how do you draw people to our page? Like,
Yeah.
Right.
we only have who we have on our page, so we kind of need to.
Have something where they can tag and have a
Yeah,
contest
share it,
or whatever.
I think that's a good
We're
idea.
marketing to our residents currently, because that's who follows the city of Zimbrota.
Right.
Because we're posting this stuff, but then we're also posting that streets are gonna be repaired. Or
Gotta get
we're flushing water lines on the west side of town today.
So I guess, I don't know, Kurt, if you want to ask them, how do they recommend we boost our following? Maybe that would be helpful.
Do we still have, I was probably many years ago, but maybe it still exists, something where you, like, they had like a paper token that was like, you can go down to one of the stores in town and you could use that, you didn't have to use your own money. Do we still do something like
C-Bucks
that?
or something
Yeah,
like that?
does that something like still exist? I don't know.
Through Ziva, they do something
They do
like
something.
that. Time.
Because I'm wondering, like, I mean, that would be a way, I mean, we used to do that at the DQ, like, oh, you can get a cake if you share it. And then you get tons of people sharing it because they want the cake. And if we had something like that in the city that
Was
would,
worth sharing, that everybody wants.
yeah, like where they would be like, oh, if I do this, and then, yeah, I don't know if we used to draw out of a cup, but I mean, there's probably better ways to do it. But, yeah, and then that person, random person gets.
Miranda, do they have a Only in Zimbrota page too? Or do you just have that? That's Instagram, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's what it's called. They have like a, yeah, they have where they use that as their hashtag.
Created that page.
Meet me in the room.
No, it's the one.
Only in the Zimbrota. Yeah, they have Meet Me in Zimbrota. No, there isn't an Only in Zimbrota.
What did we have?
That's Instagram. That's what our
Yeah.
Instagram City of Zimbrota page is called.
Got it. So that one, so, and they're not doing anything on that.
What do we have for followers on like the Facebook one for the city? Is it a bunch?
Yeah, we have 2.6 thousand.
What does the police department have? I'm just curious.
2.6.
More than that.
6.7 thousand.
Well, they do, post interesting.
He does
They
all
do.
the cooler posts.
Like,
What's the bus doing on the fairground? Are they doing
we did training last week.
That's what I figured. That's awesome. Cool.
Area ambulance.
Written all of the right-
departments, yeah.
Very.
Stout on it.
You did. Don't you follow their
Was it on
page?
Facebook? I have to stay off there. You will arrest me if I'm on there.
Yeah, no.
That's why I'm.
Was us, Cannon Falls, Broke Fire, Road Ambulance, Gooding Fire.
Very cool.
And Gooding County Emergency Management, so they had 30-some simulated patients or actual patients. And the fire got to practice extricating from a bus,
Cool.
practice overloaded EMS. Doing very well. We were out there for a couple hours.
So
Assume
Kurt,
there's more
I
stuff
don't know if anybody else feels this way, but the tulip tree marketing, I guess I misunderstood what they were doing. I thought that these were going to be ads that just popped up randomly on people's pages, not things that were posted by us. Are there,
Like sponsored ad, like us.
right, are there
Yeah.
those and these posts that they're doing?
Yes, but I think there's only like 2 paid ads.
Got it, because I haven't come across any.
No, I think
paid
that's
yet,
like
so-
total.
Gotcha, okay, so I was not sure if that was also happening on the side too.
But I don't have my paper copy from last month because it was in there.
Sure.
I just didn't, yeah.
Cool, well then you'd think that those ads that they're putting out would pop up randomly and those would maybe get us more followers. I don't know.
Okay, so I think there's no more real discussion on that. Budget review, EDA requires a vote to approve the budget.
Yeah, so I sent an email, this question was through CETA. Assume everybody understood. I didn't get a reply why this went up 8%. To either approve or disapprove the budget for 2026. Questions I hopefully answer.
It's not really something that we can disapprove though, because the contract with CETA is through the city. So,
So we could not, like, we could send this budget to the city and say,
we don't.
no,
Yeah.
and then they can do whatever they want at the city. So what's the total increase over last year?
Well, the total expenditure increase is 6.42%. Really,
Damn.
when you're looking
Kind of a
at
big
just expenses. That's really the only thing that is changing. Other than this transfers in. I'm not sure.
That should go up.
It's the same, because you have to balance your budget, so. But I'm not sure where that 8.5% transfer in is coming from. Increase?
Well, the revenues match the expenditures, right? But the transfers in don't.
The budget is balanced.
Yeah.
But
What do you say the transfers in aren't adequate?
I don't know where they're coming from.
Oh, comes from the general fund, I think. When I talked to Chris, that's what I thought she said. It's, they just transfer it into this account and then. Well, I don't know that we need to belabor it. I'd make a motion to approve the budget.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, opposed? Motion's passed. Update on Couch Trucking.
Couch Trucking, I spoke to Doug today, actually. So I went out to the lots with Doug and Dennis. Yeah, Dennis. And we met with Craig Britton, who is a civil engineer from Widseth. Craig's done a lot of work in Zumbrota, and I assume he's crazy busy because he is horribly hard to get a hold of. So what Doug thought is we'd go out there, we'd look at those 2 lots, and then I think he thought that Craig would just draw up a civil engineering plan, a site plan in 2 days. Well, no, that's not happening. So he can't get a hold of him. So they have not made an offer. they're waiting to get their civil engineering plan back, their site plan back, and then hope to make an offer at that point, once they see what it'll look like. Doug is upset. He's hoping that he can get a hold of Craig because he just can't get a hold of him at all. And he may go somewhere else for civil engineering.
Wow.
At the present moment, if you drive out there, which I'm assuming most of you do not, because it's not the most trafficked place in Zumbrota, but there used to be trailers on 22nd Street. Those have now been moved to the small lot that shares the same easement with water filtration. So they're off the street, and they called, and Brian granted them access to do that, kind of like a good faith, like. Now, if
From,
they end
from
up,
Kraus, the trailers?
yeah, they're the Krauses, because not Midwest Livestock, Fabrication is using them to ship stuff up. And I didn't know this, those trailers are full of metal, which is going down to the new Tennessee Titans football stadium. I thought it was interesting, from Zumbrota.
So it's
Yeah.
fabricated, ready to go.
Yeah, and they're shipping all that stuff down. Anyway, so yeah, it's still in the process. They are interested in a TIF. I'm not sure if Couch Trucking knows what a TIF is, but they've been told about a TIF. So what I told him today was, so what about it? Can I apply for a TIF? Well, we need to get, a site plan. Look, we'll have our engineers look at that site plan, then have an idea of what you're gonna build, how much that's gonna cost. And then we'd start, if that's a possibility, going through the TIF process. But that's kind of where it's at right now. It's kind of almost like a waiting game to get back from Craig. And
Isn't there some cost with setting up the TIF,
yes,
which they normally pay?
But we can only have so many,
there are TIF
TIF
districts.
districts.
Yeah, and I asked.
and I'm not sure that
That isn't a TIF district.
it is.
Yeah. So, because I talked to Kim about it. But yeah, it's kind of like a waiting game in this situation.
Well, we did a tip for Midwest Livestock, which is
There.
Oh,
10-year tip, I think,
Okay.
wasn't it?
Yeah, and you can see the Midwest Livestock one that's on there, but
So is it possible that Couts could use WHKS? Is there a conflict of interest or something?
I believe that might be a conflict of interest. They did ask about, and actually WHKS recommended Craig do this for them. It might be for the better, because I think both of those firms are just crazy busy.
Mhm.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think it was an eye opener for the Couch Trucking guys, just getting this information back. It wasn't, because when we were out there, it was just interesting what they want to do.
Grab the napkin.
Right.
yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Just sketch it out, so we have an idea.
So like one of the things, like an example, they
Appreciate
need a
that.
retention pond. And so Midwest Livestock has a retention pond on the north side of their, it's like right where those two lots meet. And I went over and asked them, and they said, yeah, you can expand it and use that if you want. Well, that means you'd have to build up the lot on the side where there are no buildings to make the water drain that way into that retention pond, and it just doesn't seem feasible. It'd be really expensive to get all the extra fill in and stuff. So, yeah, they'll be working with those guys, and
They need to know that.
yeah.
For expense before they make an offer on the land.
So once I hear anything from them as far as an offer, I'll send everybody an email so you're up to date on it. But that's the extent of what I have with Couch Trucking at this point.
All right, on to new business. Zumbrota area business leaders trip to Northfield.
Yeah, so you can see Bob was on that as well. So it's called Zabel, Rhoda Area Business Leaders. You can see their brand I put in the memo here. Investment group from the city. It's a variety of people from the city. Brian's been in meetings of it, myself, Bob, and Mayor Hamill's been there as well. And what we did is we actually took a trip to Northfield to see what they have done. And they hosted everybody. They had a meal afterwards, just kind of talking about what Zabel is. Zabel is independent business people. So it's anybody who wants to donate money to this group. You can be a part of it, and then they will go around. And so one of the things they want to do is Berg's Automotive out here. Mark, or is it Mark that runs that? Matt, excuse me. Matt runs that. He wants to get out of there. because he needs space. The city wouldn't like to see him get out of there, but would like to see him move because it's right by the trailhead and it'd be nice to use that area. So like they may hypothetically talk to Matt about what to do, and then they would take money from themselves and this rebound group, and they would go in and invest it and clean it up, put a new building in. They work with the city with help. The great thing about this is it's not city money, it's independent money, privately used money that they don't have to wait for city government to pass certain things in, such as TIFs or tax abatements or things like that. And those still could be possibilities depending on what it is they want to do. Yeah, Bob was on the trip and we got to tour Northfield. One thing I thought was very interesting, they would usually buy a building, like let's hypothetically say Zimbrota Drivetrain. Let's say they bought that building hypothetically, and they wouldn't have a new industry come in where they would divide it up into office spaces. And many of the offices are still in use today, and that's kind of how.
And also small manufacturers or light industry.
Yeah, one of the things that was really interesting is up on a hill, we pulled into a place and it was a building with about 6 units and it's man caves. It was like, as a man myself, I was like, cool. How much they go for? 250 grand a piece. And it was like, holy crap. But they'll sell them. It's a little different. Northfield's got 2 colleges and a growing community. And I do believe Zimbrota is one of the smaller communities that they work with, but they are pretty fired up for Zimbrota. So if you hear of Zabel or Zimbrota area business leaders, Zabel, however you want to say it, that's what it is. So it's a group. They don't have I wouldn't say they have a leader yet by any means.
No, the interesting thing is, I think you had to leave early and then there was discussion afterwards, and this logo came out of one of the members, just works down at the Zumbro Falls area.
Yeah, he runs the
campground down there, and he's got a bunch of businesses. But anyway, they came up with this logo, came up with a mission statement and all this, and this is all, I've been going to a few of their meetings, the 3 or 4 meetings that they've had, and it's nothing formal yet, but now it's becoming formal. Now they're saying, now they're gonna formalize their organization. I don't know, for example, if everybody will stay members of that have been attending. There'll be new members coming in, I'm sure. And what kind of investment they're gonna want from people to help build up a fund to develop and promote Zimbrota. They talked a little bit about a commercial club type or chamber of commerce type approach, but I don't think that's their goal. They shouldn't do that. That's really not what I recommended that they do. They're more of a development company, investment company, and Rebound, Brett Reese started years and years ago. He's a native from Northfield, and they've worked many buildings over there.
Yeah.
That Fairfield motel is one they worked on. It's a beautiful place. And with the hotel study, and this group is interested in helping bring a whole motel or hotel to Zimbrota. So they're starting to think about where that could be and so forth. See what hotel company would be interested and then pursue that. So there's a lot of activity, a lot of energy. I think it's a great thing for Zimbrota. I didn't know how the EDA would tie into that.
That was exactly going to be my question, Bob.
I was thinking
Just wait till I ask it.
I was thinking it would come, we could be involved in it, but I don't see that happening.
Like, how do we collaborate or
We would-
partner with them?
We would collaborate, yeah. If they need something, we would try to help, just like any other developer.
Well, I would hope that we're both, both of our priorities are aligned.
Oh,
So-
I think you'd like what you hear if you were at one of the meetings. But the thing is, and I agree with this, some of the members are saying, we're starting to get into some confidential stuff because they're talking to other businesses.
Oh, sure.
So they're developing rules now on how they're going to proceed, and they'll develop a structure and probably develop leadership and then go from there. So just be looking for information eventually if you or anybody in Zimbrota wants to get involved from an investment point of view. it would be a good thing to do. But, and there's a lot of good thoughts and processes or projects in mind that they're considering. But I think for us as EDA, I was thinking we could be kind of more intimately involved there, but it's not gonna work because it's gonna require, I think, confidentiality, and it's gonna
They're working
require
it too.
maybe an investment even, I don't know.
They don't have a structure set up as far as like how you're choosing which projects.
Next meeting, I think they'll get the structure set up for their organization. That's the way it sounds. And then the number one project that I see right now is the hotel motel.
Right.
Whatever you want. Is it a hotel?
That's decided on from this
That group.
Leadership group or
leader, yeah.
this.
You're gonna elect officials there, I would assume.
Yep, and Rebound is on board and they're going to do a lot of research and start talking to some of the people they've worked with for other developments in many other cities.
So I see them being more involved as far as planning and zoning, making sure that they're following rules and regulations that are already.
And they may come to us for, as Kurt said, they may come to us for some help with something, I don't know. We'll see.
The process, if I remember correctly, is number one, this or designate a project, which I think, like Bob says, that I think they've done. And then if it's a hotel, then it's branding. What kind of, who would be the most likely candidate to come in and put a hotel here? And then once they get that, then they try to determine a site, or maybe that comes next. But then the site is like second or third on the list. And then they work on a presentation to bring out to investors to raise capital. And then at that point, then they start raising capital would be potentially when they would come and ask for some help. And then obviously planning and zoning after that, so. So they're ways away.
Yeah, they're ways away, but it'll happen fast because they work pretty fast. But I think the beauty of it is it just developed organically. I think Todd Fitz is really the kind of the catalyst there, and he just set a goal for himself to, in 2025, to do what he could to help bring more vitality and improvements to Zumbrota. And he started talking to people. He's pretty well connected. This last meeting, there was a guy there that's been very deeply involved in restaurants. So that's interesting. So we'll just see where it all goes. We got new people in town too with Monier and, so there's new people coming to town. So
And it's weird, you have a car salesman who used to run vineyards and restaurants all over LA.
Texas too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty common.
Some big time ventures. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but it's exciting. And all we can do is root them on, I guess, and support them if we can.
But they're mostly a group of investors.
I think that's what it will be.
To better our community.
I don't see how they can do it any other way. I think there might be a minimum investment probably to qualify to be part of the group, I would guess. I don't know.
Opposite of Rebound, because like Rebound had something like that too, right? Where you needed to invest a
Rebound
certain amount.
would invest their own money, but these investors would invest
This would
from
be
the
different.
community.
It'd be both. So
It'd be
they'd
a
both
community,
collaborating.
it'd be a community-driven venture, basically, with Rebound supporting.
So it's this, Zumbrota are business leaders, but Rebound is contributing. Rebound, this isn't Rebound.
They would collaborate, and then if there's a project that Rebound would be involved in, they would
Invest in that.
invest in that and help manage the project, they're good at it. So it's a good thing. It's nothing that, nothing we need to fear. It's just a good thing, I think.
I don't think, I'm not scared.
It's just evolved to this point now that I think next meeting, I think the real organization of it will come together. There's a small group meeting to talk about how to do that and keep things confidential while still moving forward.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, we will move on to Smith Grant.
Yeah, so Smith Grant opened up at a time where it was difficult to get things to collaborate with, such as the EDA, because this grant is a $10,000 grant, but you need a 25% match from the city or from whatever it is you're doing. So what I did is I worked with Jeff. Jeff's last name is Jeff Myers, who's our interim public works director. And we talked about the disc golf course. To finish the disc golf course, the park board needed a little guidance with that. So the Smith grant was written by myself, and what it would do is it would add tee boxes for golfing. We would add stickers to the present baskets. There'd be arrows added to it and a sign. The sign would be from a local company. Obviously concrete would come local. And so I wrote this grant, and we'll find out in September or October, if we get this grant to finish the Frisbee golf course.
It's just those finishing touches.
Yeah, just those finishing
Because
touches.
there's 18.
There's 18
holes,
baskets
right?
out there.
Okay.
So what it would be, it would coincide with a new pool out here and the new campground. It would be very beneficial for recreation amongst people in Zumbrota. So we'll see if it goes through.
It seems to be used quite a bit, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
there's quite a few guys. And if you ever go out there and look at it, it's hard to know, because the sign for the course is only 9 holes, 9 baskets. I'm sure there's online versions of it you can see, but to know where you are or where the next hole is. So this would take care of that. And I got to learn a lot about Frisbee golf, which I did not know before. So it was interesting.
You can't dunk.
Yeah, that's right. You can't do it.
Okay, and then last is reports, update on KB Apartments.
Yeah, so we're moving along from what I've heard from Keller Bartman. So Miles Robb, who does planning and zoning for us, shared they got a revised site plan from Keller Bartman on Monday. City engineers will be reviewing and providing comments. The revised plan, from what I heard, is much better than the original plan. That's the extent of my knowledge of that. Little progress has been made with the development agreement. What they're waiting for are numbers from the engineers for zoning and architectural plans. The development agreement will not be confirmed until site plans are approved and finalized, which will all go through the city council. One interesting piece of information is that the alley behind your store, Bob, will be one way going from north to south this way. So it will be a one-way alley, right?
Enter.
This side, you can go that way. Yeah, so you exit by
So
Dwell.
opposite of what it is
So
now.
actually that's kind of bad because you're going uphill to get out of there.
Yeah, it is.
But I know the county doesn't want people coming out on the road all the time.
Right, and
That's
that's
the
from
problem.
Hugh County. That's what. Are there signs that say, are alleys typically, I only ask this because
Alleys can be one way. I've seen it many
Can it
times.
just be grandfathered in though, the way the drive-through was?
They're gonna drive however they want to.
Like this,
Who cares?
What's
like the
likely?
Caribou Coffee drive-through.
Which is
You
likely
can
what's
sit there
gonna
and
happen.
patrol that one.
Go my roads, they're driving like.
Trying to sneak out of there with the truck in place this
Back here on
morning.
435th where it hits the gravel.
That was tough, man. Is the county set on that direction just because of that
I'll give you
hill?
that.
I mean,
Extension cord.
that's the only disadvantage I see is going up that hill in the winter.
And that hill will be,
Exactly what it-
it'll be redone, but yeah, that's true. Because it'll have to be.
Not wanting traffic coming out.
Yeah.
Have a good snow removal company.
Good sanding company, yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah.
But that would still be a city and help.
We do have good standing in.
I
If
just-
there's nothing else.
I would just mention, the church, just to bring you up to date, we've developed the first Congregational Preservation Society, is what it's now called. So all the assets have been transferred from the church to the Preservation Society, and then that's just to help maintain the building. Now we'll start hopefully developing an organization that will look for uses for the church. So if you got any thoughts or ideas, let me know. But we're moving along with that. And you can drive both ways on that street. So,
Anything else? We'll adjourn.
Thank you.
thank you.
Okay, so